2.3 Abuja. I want to believe that you had a great time with Vicky Vic, the sports minister on radio, on Sport on Eagles Wings. Now it's time for us to talk politics and current affairs. And just like I said before now, we're going to be shifting focus from the security sector, from politics, to the economy and also agriculture. Looking at the fact that they say an angry or a hungry man is an angry man. And there have been concerns in recent times about, the hunger rate, the poverty rate in the country and how it has pushed people into doing things that they ordinarily, won't even consider doing. All right. So with a new twist coming to measures or even strategies to ensure food security, the governors of the 36 states have decided to throw their weight behind the federal government on dismantling unauthorized checkpoints to curb inflation. So here is the background. All 36 state governors under the aegis of the Nigeria Governors Forum have declared support for the federal government's move to dismantle unauthorized checkpoints, streamline levies, and improve the movement of goods across the country as a strategy to tackle soaring inflation. So the governor said the decision was prompted by concerns raised by the federal government, which identified the proliferation of checkpoints, illegal taxation, and poor infrastructure as major drivers of food inflation, of food price inflation, and inefficiencies in Nigeria's supply chain. Now, this resolution actually formed part of the outcome of the NGF meeting held on Wednesday night, which extended into the early hours of Thursday. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State read a communique issued at the end of the meeting, providing updates on a closed-door session the governors held with key federal officials, including the National Security Advisor, that is Nuhu Ribadu, Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badar Abubakar, Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, and Minister of Transportation, Senator Saidu Alkali. And at this point in time, I'd like to quote the Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu verbatim. He says, "We members of the Nigeria Governors Forum deliberated on urgent issues affecting the country, including the rising cost of food and transportation of livestock." Joining me to discuss this morning is an economist and also lead researcher at Pole Eco Analytics, Adefolarin Olamilekon. He joins us live via telephone to discuss this very topical issue. Good morning to you, Mr. Adefolarin.
Good morning to you, America. Good morning to all our listeners out there.
Right.
Good to be on Eagles FM once again.
Thank you also for joining us. All right, so looking at this very topical issue on curbing inflation by dismantling unauthorized checkpoints along highways. It's also aimed at reducing transportation costs and further alleviating the financial burden on citizens. But Mr. Adefolarin, while some would say this is a step in the right direction, are we really hitting the nail on the head in a bid to ensure that inflation drops, drastically in the country?
I think we are just far from what we need to do. We are just roaming around with the Bible chair, still looking at solving a very, very dicey situation with something that we know that will not go away. Dismantling roadblocks, dismantling checkpoints are not the causes of inflation in Nigeria. We already know the causes of inflation in Nigeria. Just like the government doesn't want to take a headlong approach to deal with the issue. Although, let's give it to them that they think that it is going to be done with this, but we can best assure them that won't solve any problem. Take, for instance, when all these products that we are talking about, foodstuff and food commodity or manufactured goods moving from the south to the north or moving from the north to the south or wherever those products are going across Nigeria, it is not because of those checkpoints that they inflated the price of those products. Although we will take it from the local informal market traders' perspective. Because I know what would have informed the governors to take this decision was that most local traders who bring foodstuff from the farming community will tell you that they met a checkpoint like 10, 20 before they get to Abuja, for instance, or 50 or 100 before they get to the southeast. So they calculated all those 200 naira, 100 naira that they are giving those policemen or those illegal local government tax collectors or all those illegal tax collectors on the highway. So they calculated all those ones and put it on their local product and they inflated. But that is not the major reason why that is there. But we give it to them that they are dismantling those illegal road checkpoints. But another question you asked is, do you think those road checkpoints can be dismantled? It can be dismantled because as I was coming to work this morning, I still saw some checkpoints, particularly those ones that normally harass Okada riders, Keke riders, and those lorries coming from far away to market. Take for instance, we say market, go to Abuja market, you see boys with a green leaflet starting a lorry who are carrying food commodities. I mean, asking them that they need to buy a particular ticket, they want to buy a particular this and that. That also needs to be put into consideration because it's not just illegal checkpoints that are causing these unions, those different unions that we have across the country, collecting fees from transporters.
Okay.
The government needs to dismantle them.
Okay, but Mr. Defalarin, we've also heard over time that for these tax collectors or these officers, manning these illegal checkpoints, as they have been rightly tagged, they usually remit these monies to the state government coffers. So if they're going to be dismantled, isn't that going to affect the revenue generation across state level?
The issue is that that's not the way to collect revenue from citizens. You don't use thugs, you don't use all manner of informal people to collect revenue from government. For instance, look at the National Union of those transport workers. Right. There are about 5 different unions attached to the transportation system in Nigeria. We have Transport Workers and Employers Association of Nigeria. We have Nigerian Union of Road Transport Workers. We have Transport Owner Association. We also have a self-employed driver. All these guys that you see with association, they collect money from each lorry, each vehicle that is moving on the highway. And they will tell, and we check the percentage they are remitting to the government. It's very minute. Some are less than 15 naira to both the governors, the government at the state level, and local government. So they take the bulk of your entire fee they are collecting. But the key question is that for me as an economist, that is not what is causing inflation. We are just trying to treat malaria by asking somebody to be drinking ordinary water. Don't worry, if you drink malaria, you take water, your malaria will go. When we know that eventually the malaria will not go on, that person is go to severe medical treatment that will allow malaria to go. And that's what we are bringing to the issue of inflation. We already know what is causing inflation. We are suffering from economic deficiency infrastructure. Okay. That's the biggest one. Productivity is on the low because there is no electricity. We have bad roads. But we are, as a person, sympathize with the governors, sympathize with the NSA, and the rest of them that they want to dismantle all these legal checkpoints. But what about IG? Because as you said, some of those money goes back as remittances to some people, particularly the police. The police, for instance, each police command at this point in time to divisional officers, and the rest of them. Who are they remitting those money to? But at the end of the day, by the time you check out, they will see there is nothing like that. That doesn't happen. That nobody is remitting any money to anybody. That it is just the self-glorification of those police officers to make money. Okay. And some of us have discovered that it is in fact, that is the truth. It's an opportunity for those policemen to make extra money when they're on the highway and collecting money from lorry drivers and the rest of them.
Okay, Mr. Defalarin, I'm very sure that you monitored the President's Democracy Day speech. That was June 12, where he spoke to issues concerning Nigeria's economy. He actually expressed, satisfaction with the progression of events in the nation's economy. According to him, inflation has actually dropped and price of food are gradually crashing, like rice and what have you. But is that really the reality on ground, coming from, your own perspective as an economist?
I've said it on this show before that the of what we are seeing are in two phases. We have documentation, reality of how the progression of government policy economic is. Then we have the reality on the streets, on the marketplaces, on the corners of every part of Nigeria, the reality of our economy that is bearing on the state. So what the president may be reading, and the other one that talks about the documentation reality of how the economy is progressing with less than 22.53% of the inflation. So go to the street and see the difference. Because for me, it is the street inflation record that I'm taking, that I'm looking at. You get it? It's not the one that the government is reading. The one the government is reading is to persuade and to bring out confidence show confidence to investors that are coming to Nigeria, like all the rest of the international business centers, setup group and the rest of them. They want to hear good news about your country is progressing. But the reality is far, far different. You get it? So for the president, what he's reading, what is using he wants to use to attract investors to the country, he has to say good news about Nigeria. Don't go and be telling them we have over 80% inflation figure. Anyway, that is the reality of the inflation. So give it to the president, let him continue to read the documentation, inflation report. But we Nigerians know that the inflation report is quite high. On the street, in the market, in all places, it's high.
Okay, so Mr. Defolarin, let us put aside the bottlenecks, that comes with transporting these food items, from one state to the other, let's say from the northern part of the country, down south. And let's not talk about states that ordinarily, would witness or have this record, in terms of food production, right, at its peak. Yet, there seems to be a little bit of disconnect between the local production and affordability, especially in recent times. What exactly are the issues to look at for, and also to trace to, why there's been this local production or decline in local production and even affordability amongst residents in these states like Benue, for example, another state where they are known, for producing major food staples?
I think let's take the example of the Benue. Benue, for instance, is producing gari that comes into Abuja majorly. Major gari that comes into Abuja is coming from Benue State. And we already know that Benue State is suffering from insecurity. But that does not really stop the people in Benue not to produce food. But here is the game. Here is what is happening. Up to tomorrow, you will see count up to 10, 15 trailers of yam coming all the way from Benue, from Taraba. But here is the problem. We have middlemen. And these middlemen are in chains. I hope we are getting it. Right. It's just that we may not have enough time. And that's what the government is supposed to go and study. We have middlemen in chain, and those middlemen in chain supply are in different categories.
Different category? What do you mean by that?
This is how it goes. If you're a farmer in Benue, you produce your yam tuber, maybe you produce 20, you want to sell 10. There's someone in the village there who will come and buy that 10 from you. Then there's someone that will come out of his village, maybe from the capital, that is Makurdi, that will come and pick that 10. Then there's someone that will come from Abuja who will come and pick that 10 from that person in the state capital and bring it to Abuja. Then the last person on the value chain of that middle manager is one that will now take it to market. And from market, someone will take it to supermarket. Someone will take it to the roadside house, shop, and the rest of them to sell this product. So you will check the percentage increase in each cost in terms of profit sharing will be added. The man that farmed the yam in his village, that sold it to his colleague or his friend in the village, maybe he sold the yam at 10 naira each. The man that will sell it from that man to the other man that will come from Makurdi City Center to come and buy it, he may sell it at 15 naira. That is 5 naira of profit. Then the man that will sell it from Makurdi to Abuja will sell it at 25 naira. That is 10 naira profit. Then the man that will take it from Abuja and begin to sell it to individuals who will now still go and sell it, can say 30 naira. Then each person that will now sell it to the end user or end consumer will now say yam is 100 naira. These are the things that is causing price of goods to go up in Nigeria. The greed chain that flow into the middleman channel, and we need to treat that.
And you think the government? You think the government is aware of this?
They are aware now. In government contract procurement, how are they doing government contract procurement? Someone could get the contract from government. By the time it gets out of all the documentation and the rest of them, we begin to subcontract that contract out. They know all these things, not checkpoint. Checkpoint doesn't play or much on this inflation that we are talking about. The middleman supply chain is one of the greatest challenges we are having. Apart from the critical issue we are talking about, insecurity, lack of economic infrastructure, the one that is more dangerous, more deliberate, is the greedy line of supply chain among people who are selling the product to the end user. And that's what is happening. I'll give you another critical example. Take a look at food distribution. Take, for instance, we may not mention companies that are producing some of the commodities we are consuming, like noodles, like spaghetti, like milk, like sugar. Take, for instance, you know that the price of sugar have dropped from 70,000 to about 68,000, depending on the product you are buying. But tomorrow, retailers are still tying sugar, as if they are tying very, very insulting measurements. But the mudu have dropped from the 4,000 they are buying it, about 2,800 naira. But that's still tying sugar. They will even tell you they can't tie sugar of 15 naira. Meanwhile, on the cup, each cup in a mudu of sugar is 9.5. One cup is being sold at between 500 to 700 naira. So they are making extra money. So we need to understand some of the issues around this inflation. It is not just because of checkpoints that they want to dismantle or whatever. It goes beyond that. It goes to the critical perspective of how greed has so consumed many of us in Nigeria, not just from the government circle, including citizens.
Okay.
And another thing we must quickly point out, we have so many associations that we the government needs to, dismantle those associations. A lot of them, trade associations, this one, everybody just taking associations just to take percentage on what we have that Nigerians are supposed to consume, including unions, trade unions and the rest of them. They are all there.
All right. Mr. Adefalarin, you've been able to highlight a number of issues as far as this topical discourse is concerned, from the middleman to whether or not these checkpoints, illegal checkpoints or unauthorized checkpoints, are really the reason why there's been an inflation, right, to greed that we have in the system. Too many unions and associations involved in, the system. But I don't know, a bit surprised knowing that you're yet to speak to the absence of price control. I mean, this is one thing that economists have pointed to over time as to why the inflation rate keeps, surging in Nigeria.
The reason why it's very difficult for government to create price control right now is because the government itself is not producing food. How is the government is producing food? It's producing food supplementary commodities and products. It would have been easy. Say, for instance, the grains that government normally release. We have released 200,000 tons of grains. Those grains are abused by middlemen. That's what we have. The last time President Tinubu released grains, I think in the early January, February, and it was expected that the grains would break the gap in the price of grains across Nigeria. It never happened. Rather, it ended up in the hand of middlemen who ended up inflating the price and the cost for Nigeria. So unless government by itself is producing food, and that is the only way we can, or producing food or manufacturing something, or being in the manufacturing sector, that's when government can have a grip on price control. Yes, and President Tinubu understand something. Yeah. They wanted him to create a price control board. You know what they wanted him to be doing? If Tinubu create price control board, the board will be buying all this food from the farmers. What do you think President Tinubu noticed was that if he starts that, the board will become corrupt, the middlemen will have more chances and you have more opportunity to create problems. Just like what we are having in the oil and gas sector, that we allow all manner of association to be created. This one will say we are a solo market association, this one we are independent market association, this one will say we are different. So those associations will now hold the government at the dogula. In the point that by the time they say supply so things, they will supply it and inflate price and do all manner of things. Sometimes they will even go on strike and say they are not supplying again. So those are the things that the government have noticed, and that's why it doesn't want to create any price control. Or for me, for government to have to create price control, that government must be the one producing what he wants to, not buying from people. Because with that's what happened at the end of the day. When I hear that we have subsidy on rice, subsidy on gari, subsidy on pepper and the rest of them.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Adefalarin. I'll let you hold your thoughts. Let's get some contributions from, the listener on the other side of the radio. You can call us on 090-8766-8888 or 090-7353-0044. Send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal number on 090-9705-44 and 50. This should actually be of utmost concern to almost every Nigerian, if not every Nigerian, right? Looking at how best we can actually ensure food security in Nigeria. Now, the 36 state governors, they've actually thrown their weight behind the federal government, in a bid to ensure food security by dismantling unauthorized checkpoints to curb inflation. But do you really think that these checkpoints, that these trucks and lorries actually must have to pay certain amounts of monies to, is the reason why the inflation keeps, soaring or surging in Nigeria? Let's hear from you. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, baby blessing. Very well, thank you.
So, today I wanted to tell you, say you do partiality. You don't mention my language. You don't greet me as my language. I don't go to greet you again anymore.
No vex. I'm sorry.
No, Wala. You see, my name is Baby Blessing from Otako.
Yeah.
You see, one mudu of sugar now is 3,000 naira. If you become a customer, they will sell for you 229. Why, if you ask them wetin make peace dey cost like that, they say money wey this police or whether na soldier, I don't know the checking point, the money wey they collect for their hand is too much. Now, people wey they bring food for our table, if police wey supposed to guide citizens, they are collecting money for their hand. You don't know say na these people they might be the corrupt for Nigeria where we get. Even though it could do this kill wey dey happen, na them must be corrupt wey they kill us, and na they cannot save us our life, and we keep quiet like that. How can you go and buy a goods or 1,000 naira and money where police go collect for your house or army or any post at all? No be even police itself, all this a custom, call the custom, or I don't really know the name who I go call them. They are going to the mosque, they are going to the church. Still yet, now they be the corrupt way they are corrupt Nigeria. That is why peace now continue to cost for market. Now we this issue of Boko Haram first. Now go to the issue of Boko Haram where they kill people, farmer where they bring yam for our table. How much are they collect for these people hand to make sure they go open road for them? They not go catch anyone. But the people where they carry food to come give them, now they go stop, we start them. Collect money for hand. If you cannot pay that money, they go sue your goods. They go share them with their family. Is it good? May we tackle this thing. If we tackle them, may they know they collect money for people when they go market for hand. Believe me, food will go come down.
Okay.
Boko Haram, they are all separate because may we tackle. You know how to make the card. We go just bring talk. They go cover that. We go they say the president don't do anything. Bye bye.
Thank you very much. Be a blessing. Don't worry, on our voice they count, okay? 09073530044 or 09087668888 are the numbers to call. How much of excitement do you have knowing that the federal government and state government, I mean, all the 36 state governors have now decided to come together to harmonize their thoughts, to dismantle these unauthorized checkpoints. Do you really think this would bring some sort of respite for Nigerians in terms of curbing inflation in the long run? Hello, good morning to you.
Morning, Moses.
Yes, good morning, Honorable Edwards. Good to have you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Right.
For the report.
Right.
Yeah, we know very well that there are insecurity issues and so many issues, but we cannot ignore the fact that these checkpoints are giving us problem. Honestly speaking, particularly, I actually don't understand the other part of it. But if you go to my own village, the revenue from local government, you know that some people have some illegal revenue where if you are going to market, you have to pay for this one, you pay for, in my place it's more than 20. So take it, if we are paying even 100 naira, it's 100 naira, at least from 1,000 and above. So 1,000 above, that is 20,000 naira before you start paying on the road again. So that is actually affecting the price of food items.
Okay.
And then suffering those farmers, because if I'm going to buy something now, instead of me buying that stuff for 20,000 naira, I will calculate how much am I going to spend on this and reduce. There's those people who are not getting anything.
Okay.
I imagine what is happening. So it's increasing more poverty.
All right. Thank you very much.
Coming to say here, if they will increase the price.
Okay.
If police, if state governors, they are demanding that there should be no checkpoint. I don't understand the type of checkpoint because police may not.
Oh, and Honorable Edward, please call back to wrap up your thoughts, okay? 09087668888 or 09073530044 are the numbers to call. Good morning to you, Felix.
Yes, good morning, Omoise.
Right, good to have you.
And good morning to our guests.
Right.
Yes, talking about food security in the country, food and what the governors are saying that is the cost of high cost of food items. Roadblocks in the southeast, to be honest with you, is something else. It's very, very something else. And if the farmers have to go through all these hassles and eventually they bring the goods to the market, of course they will increase the price of the goods. And what the health speaker is saying is also true. The middlemen, the chains of the value, the middlemen, for instance, are so much. That also is being felt in the price of these goods because you have so many associations, guiding so many of these crops before they get the consumers. So, and again, too, our borders are very porous. We are complaining that the food is not even enough within the country, and yes, much is smuggled out of the country. And all these are factors that are affecting the high cost of food items in the country, and thereby making food security not possible. Except government get directly involved in the production of agricultural produce. I have not seen a country where everything is left in the hand of things like that, in the hand of individuals. Government must be involved, both at government at all levels.
All right.
Federal must get involved in the green revolution for things to work out for us.
All right, Felix, thank you very much for your contribution right there. We're due for a commercial break. When we return, the studio lines will still be open for you to call in to share your thoughts. And we definitely would revert to Mr. Adefolarin Olamilekon to react to some of your observations and also make his submission on the show. This is Eagles Outlook live on Eagles FM 102.3 Abuja. Do join us again.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Oh yeah, now logistics. Oh yeah, now logistics. 1, 2, 3. You want all that food? Oh yeah, now. Straight to your doorstep. We dey come. One pick up something. Oh yeah, now. Or drop off something. We dey come. Maybe you need that for shopping. Oh yeah, now. Direct from your favorite. We dey come. You want order your cooking gas. Oh yeah, now. Direct to your doorstep. We dey come. We dey run massive discount. Oh yeah, now. Just place your order now. We dey come. We dey run free delivery when you order. Oh yeah now.
Hurry now and download Oya Now app on the Google Play Store or Apple Store. You can also visit us at www.oyanow.ng or call us on 080-8410-1000 or 081-2355-4000. We are available in Lagos and Abuja. Oya Now with the call.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Think Counseling Network in collaboration with Reeds Empire Human Development Limited and partners bring to you the Game Changer Conference, where entrepreneurs, leaders, and youth gather for one powerful purpose. Discover how to shift your thinking, redefine your patterns, and elevate your influence. Whether you are employed, unemployed, leading policies, or building empires. Date: Tuesday, July 8, 2025. Venue: Novera Central Mall, Use Zone 5 Hall, Abuja. Time: 11 a.m. Seats are limited. Your next level depends on this decision. Don't mix it. For more information, call 080-3869-8516. 080-3869-8516. Game Changer Conference 2025. Change your pattern, change your life.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Things they happen for our community, eh?
Now I can recoup back all the money I have spent on this annoying family.
Hey, yeah. That woman own don't finish.
My girl, let's go and greet them, okay?
Hey! Join Media Coalition and Awareness to hold trafficking, MICAS, on I Wish I Knew radio drama and program every Saturday at 10 a.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. Join us to kick human trafficking out of our society. I Wish I Knew radio drama and program is brought to you by MICAS and funded by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Denmark.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
I like how the mathematics teacher dey teach us. Even sef, she know dey too beat and she know dey give us too much homework. See, me, I just dey think of how to japa when I finish school, cause my papa don talk say he no get money to send me go university. When Nel Fund dey there, now waiting.
Yes, so Nel Fund na special loan from Tinubu government to help Nigeria students pursue them university education without wahala. Them go come later they pay back small when them don't get job. Apart that one, Tinubu government also get credit core and many other empowerment programs for Nigerian youths to give them kampe future. So therefore, Nigerian youths make una chill, no shaking. Hope don't renew, and even though we never reach where we dey go, Nigeria don't dey overcoming challenges small and prosperity don't dey show face. We don't dey road to national greatness. Make una support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to make Nigeria work. Nigeria, we don't dey waka the correct road.
Now State House, Department of Media and Publicity, power am.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
I suppose it was inevitable. Eagles 102.3.
All right, we are back. Thank you so much for staying with us. If you are just joining us, this is Eagles Outlook live on Eagles FM 102.3 Abuja, where we are looking at a very topical issue that borders on ensuring food security in Nigeria and also reducing inflation. Right now, the governors have actually backed the federal government on dismantling unauthorized checkpoints, all in a bid to curb inflation. But, my guest, who happens to be an economist, Adefolarin Olamilekon, he is saying that we are just putting square pegs in, round holes as opposed to putting square pegs in square holes, right? But what do you really make of this? Is this to say that there is indeed a light at the end of a tunnel? If these unauthorized checkpoints get, dismantled at the end of the day, it simply means just maybe that there's going to be a drastic reduction in the prices of foodstuff and other essentials, as opposed to us hearing the usual narrative of it costs a lot to transport a truck of onions or tomatoes or even tubers of yam all the way from, let's say, the middle belt to the southern part of the country, and you can't just ply these routes without seeing these checkpoints and also remitting some amount of money to them. All right, so we're still asking what your thoughts are. The numbers to call us to 09073530044 or 09087668888. You can send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal number on 090970544 and 50. Well, time is not really a friend, but we'll see the most we can do with the time left on the show this morning. So let's squeeze in this call. Hello, good morning to you. Hello.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, my name is KGB.
KGB, from where?
In Abuja now.
All right. Please go ahead.
You see, if government can be sincere, which they will not, it will work out later. You see, and is it not governor that are proposing it or starting it? Hello?
Yes, please, I'm with you.
Is governor the one proposing this?
They've thrown their weight behind the federal government to dismantle these unauthorized checkpoints.
If they can be sincere, they will do it from federal down to local government.
Okay.
Down to local government.
Okay.
Any chairman, whatever, if any, any produce, whatever on the road, come out and start disturbing people, they will be treated like criminals. This will be made known to them, both local route, state route, and federal route.
All right.
I could recollect, there was a program they did one time where somebody was analyzing it, not only analyzing it, I'm talking of one day analyzing it, telling us that he loaded a trailer from Sokoto going to Apabom and River State. And you know what he did? He said he paid 700 and something. After from there, whatever, he paid on the road 700 and something thousand naira to all these police, call it army, call it produce, call it whatever. He said, after all this money, after paying this money, yeah, if I can't pay it, I cannot pass. Then after paying it, where do you want me to get the money? I will incorporate it into the cost. Yeah. I mean, because you put the money into the goods that I brought in, then jack it up and sell. And that's the only thing you can do. So, all this road, this thing. He said, okay, then any DPO will be, any commissioner of police, the GIG, all of them will want their juniors. The DPO will be whole responsible. Because I'm not accusing that, I'm not telling you, but even the local government chairman, what he do, these people will go and say, they will just consult one name, call them in, and they will come out on the road and start extorting people. Because, they will say, if you handle them very well, they will say that so amount out of this money we collected is going to the chairman.
Okay.
If not, you get what I'm saying? Right. The same thing is applicable to police.
Okay.
And any other security. So if they want to do it, if they are sincere, face it and do it thoroughly, I tell you, this will be checkmated. Okay. And if they are doing it Nigeria we will see where we are.
All right. KGB, thank you so much for your contribution. All right. I mean, I love the fact that family members just take it upon themselves to give us a breakdown. They may have had a fair share of, some of these issues that we are talking about on radio. Now, I see this message on the WhatsApp portal, and this is from James from Suleja. He says, good morning, if for short. Again, once again, and our very own Mr. Defolarin. Thank you so much. Mr. Defolarin has said it all in breaking down the various supply and distribution value chain that products and commodities, must pass through. The government at all levels, they just like to talk too much, and it is never a reflection on the realities on ground. How many times has the IG dismantled roadblocks and checkpoints? The fact that they always have the wrong diagnosis for problems is why they keep, looking clueless about how to fix things. In as much as checkpoints have their own way of contributing to the inflation, but then so does transportation cost, so does the insecurity, cost on the farmer. So the major reason we are experiencing food inflation is the insecurity experienced by farmers and the transportation cost. Why are we ignoring the fact that these farmers who farm on a large scale in most northern states are paying huge lump sums to bandits as tax? Have we not been seeing the reports? How many farmers have been able to enter their farms to farm or harvest? Are we not seeing the news and the reports? All right, James, thank you so much for all of these questions that you've actually put forward, right? Indeed. I mean, at some point in time, we're made to understand that farmers, were made to pay taxes to these bandits, right, before they can even access their farms. And also, on the other hand, we see the transportation bottlenecks, diesel, the cost of diesel, and all of that. But I would just quickly revert to Adefolarin Olamilekon to maybe react to some of your observations and probably give us his submissions on this topic of discussion this morning, because our time is actually fast spent. And I see this message also on the Facebook page from Suleiman Jibril. He says, good morning, Omoefe, the radio princess. As usual, watching you live from National Assembly quarters. Please keep up the good work. From Suleiman Dan Fulani, National Assembly quarters. Thank you so much. Mr. Defolarin, welcome back. Are you there, Mr. Defolarin?
Yeah.
Right. Welcome back. Now, very quickly, a number of Nigerians have actually expressed, their reservations and also their concerns about this topic of discussion. Now, for some of them who may have had a fair share, of what these illegal and unauthorized checkpoints, are all about, they are saying that it's a step in the right direction if indeed the federal government and the state governors have agreed to dismantle these unauthorized checkpoints, to curb inflation. Only if there will be that level of sincerity and transparency in, the whole process. I mean, who is the IG going to, give that matching order to? That henceforth we don't want to see so people on, certain or major roads. And at the end of the day, should anybody be found wanting, who is going to, discipline the person at the end of the day? You also look at the transportation bottlenecks. Adefolarin, you really didn't speak to that, because we've seen truck drivers, also come out to lament that they pay a lot of money to get diesel to move their trucks from one point to another point. So that could also be a reason why inflation keeps, surging in Nigeria.
We have identified that as the major causes. I said it earlier in the discussion that we have critical causes that led to this inflation, that they are not even something that the government is trying to do so they can go away. High cost of energy, we talk about electricity, we talk about electricity for the manufacturers, electricity for the storage of food, electricity for people who preserve food. That is on one side. The energy on the other side, which is the petroleum product you mentioned, diesel, high cost of it is also affecting. They will talk about the insecurity, talk about bad roads and the rest of them. But on the part of the illegal checkpoint, does it mean that we have legal checkpoints and illegal checkpoints? See, the issue is this. The legal checkpoint that I know very well, as one mounted by security operatives who are also capable of collecting money. Either you are saying illegal checkpoints are collecting money. Even the legal ones are the ones collecting the money, because if you say illegal, people will quickly refer to all those local government officials that will say they have tax collectors around the way. Those ones normally put barricade of stick with nails on the road. Meanwhile, with the military or police checkpoints are the uniform ones. But the issue is that the collection of this fee or the collection of this money by this legal one and illegal one is where the bulk is. If you remove illegal checkpoints, the legal ones, we are sure that they will not collect money from those tax truck drivers. You get it?
Right.
That's one. Then two, the legal local government tax collector on the way, are we sure they will not be collecting excesses or be extorting truck drivers on the way? So the thing is that it's not just about removing illegal. What about the legal ones? Are the legal ones, are they saints? Because most times that we found all these checkpoint people, is the legal one that are even collecting the money. Okay. Because I don't see any legal police checkpoint anywhere.
All right, Mr. Defalarin. All right, time is not our friend. So quickly, what is your submission on this issue?
I think critically, what the government needs to do is we already know the causes of inflation in Nigeria. We know the middlemen, supply chain obstruction. We know the challenges we have in economic decisions and infrastructure. Let's tackle all those ones, from insecurity to energy high costs to lack of infrastructure in the road maintenance and the rest of them. And let's streamline the numbers of people that are collecting fees on behalf of government. There are too many.
All right.
There are too many people collecting money for government.
Okay.
Thank you.
Economist and lead researcher at Polico Analytics, Adefalarin Olamilekon, has been my guest. Thank you so much for talking to us.
All right, thank you for having me.
Right. And to the contributors on the show, those who sent messages and those who called in, thank you also for keeping us company on the show. This is a developing story, and would like you to follow us on Facebook and also subscribe to the YouTube channel for more updates on this development. My name is Omoefe Peace Osemere. Good morning.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Hello, Nigeria. Hello, Africa. Do you want to work in the healthcare sector? Do you want to be a trained, certified